Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicle Speaks.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you.
So the more and more I'm reading about the super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, the more I'm starting to realize that there is no way out for her. All roads are leading directly to prison. You know, sometimes you could dig a hole for yourself, but you don't dig it too deep that you could still find a way to climb out. Well, I just read a subpoena, and from the looks of it, the grand jury will hear testimony on Monday from Thornton Township and Dalton Village that will possibly nail the super mayor, Tiffany Henyard.
And for those that don't know, he is called a super lawyer, just like your super mayor. How about that? He's going to super jail, just like the super mayor.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
The things that they are requesting for in the subpoena are enough to give Tiffany and some of her cohorts a possible RICO charge. And because the super mayor was not present for last Monday's board meeting, the trustees voted in senior trustee Jason House as mayor pro tem so he could sign off on village business as well as pay bills in her absence. But we're also going to talk about Dalton trustee Andrew Holmes and how he was terminated by Chicago survivors over assault allegations. We are going to get into this story and so much more, but before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any news regarding this story and so much more. Now let's get back into it. The mayor who calls herself the people's mayor or the super mayor has been crowned the worst mayor in America, taking the small populated village of Dalton to mainstream media and not for the right reasons, allegedly bleeding the residents of taxpayers' dollars for things like wrongly spelled billboards.
Take a look at this. When the first billboard went up last summer, Thornton was misspelled as Thornton. Another sign had to be ordered, apparently at taxpayer expense.
High-dollar vehicles with an extremely high interest rate, or heavy police detail. Needless to say, people of the village of Dalton and Thornton Township are wanting her out of both of her positions, and it looks like their wishes may be soon coming true.
You are going to be, and it's unfortunate, in a 6x8 cell in North Carolina, because you're going to the federal joint. To my understanding, on Wednesdays and Thursdays, you'll get chicken. On Fridays, you'll get fish. And your people have to take a plane to come and visit you. And hopefully, they keep you in their mind to put money on your books.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
Now on May 20th, which happens to be this upcoming Monday at 9:30 a.m., Tiffany has to bring certified copies showing employment records for Rosie Henyard, Tamika Henyard, and the man who is her alleged boyfriend, Mr. Kamal Woods. Now, in these employment records, they're to include background records, including applications for employment, personnel files, credit checks, background investigations for the above-named individuals or entities, all employment or payroll records to include records disclosing the dates of employment, wages, or commissions paid, direct deposit election forms, the list goes on. They need a record of time and attendance, disciplinary files, records of work performed. So pretty much, what did these people do to get the money that they received? And was it legal? They want records showing the methods of payments, all agreements and contracts, invoices received from the above named individuals. So basically what they're wanting to know is, are you funneling money to your family and your man, or are they really producing a service that's needed in the community? So for the period of January 1st, 2021 through the present day, they're needing all municipal codes and ordinances applicable during the given time period related to credit card purchases.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
vendor approvals, procurement, employment contracts, and termination. And I've counted about a handful of ex-employees that are currently suing for wrongful termination, Fania Dukes being one of them, and we spoke about her situation in our last story. They're needing per diem records, expense reimbursements, outside employments to include any specific regulations for the police department, loan issuances, work schedules and job descriptions, employee contractor travel, security detail.
Dalton trustees have filed a lawsuit against Henyard, saying she's not justified the need for security and is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on it without the board's approval.
Use of vehicles, residency requirements for employees and contractors, and donations.
So last fall, Henyard did something that would seemingly generate some good publicity, helping establish the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation to help breast cancer patients. And on the very day the charity was chartered, it received a huge donation, $10,000, from the Thornton Township Board, which Henyard presides over.
Henyard tried to distance herself from the foundation in a recent interview, claiming she had no involvement in the group's activities.
2 seconds earlier.
We got 10 days. We're going 196 miles.
Last October, Henyard led a delegation of Dalton and Thornton Township employees and political supporters on a march to Springfield to promote her breast cancer charity, which she documented on her Facebook page.
We're walking through Dalton. Hi, we're in Brightwood now. We are in Godly now. We in Bloomington, baby.
Henyard billed thousands of dollars in hotel rooms and meals during the trip to Thornton Township and Dalton credit cards. But Henyard wasn't anxious to talk about her charity. Why did you and the board vote to give your foundation $10,000?
I'm the face of the foundation. My name is Nowhere, sir. I'm the face.
You're the face.
This is from CBS affiliate there. Says that the accusation comes at the same time the Illinois Attorney General's office told Henyard's charity multiple times in recent months to stop improperly soliciting donations because it had not registered with the state as required by law. And you said that's not your charity.
Correct.
Okay. So were you ever? So there was. So show the video here. 'Cause I'm trying to understand this here. So this is a video of you marching with the charity. So what is this?
So what they're not telling you is we literally walked to Springfield to create a bill to help anybody that suffered from cancer, whether it's the village of Dalton, Thornton Township, and then I increased it to the state of Illinois. And that bill will help people by giving them $10,000. And that's a bill that we actually are initiating, and we're still working on it. When I went through the Republican states, the Republican areas, we didn't have any issue. Everybody was on board because everybody is suffering from cancer or knows someone that passed or is actually going through it. So that was the whole purpose of the walk, to basically bring awareness and bring people together. That's what the whole purpose of it is.
But if you had, so there were folks with signs saying Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. Who was that?
What do you mean? It's everybody. Everybody was there.
No. What I'm saying is, what is the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation? You said it's not affiliated with you at all.
Correct.
Well, what is it?
So someone made up a foundation. They named it after me, and they like my work that I do in the community, and it's called Tiffany Henyard Cares. So we all went.
But they weren't registered. Have you contacted them and told them you can't use my name improperly?
Well, my lawyer's handling a lot of that stuff, so all I can tell you is that I'm not the one on anything. That's the only thing I can tell you right now. So I'm just trying to answer to the.
So you're saying there's a foundation that's not registered, but it has nothing to do with you?
Correct. That's true.
Okay.
That's
so you're not aware of any of the work that they've done, money that they've raised, anything along those lines?
Correct.
Okay.
That's dear to my heart is I'm real big on a cancer foundation. I have created Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation, and what that entails is helping everybody within the 17 municipalities with services such as well services and resources, such as if you need help paying for chemo, radiation, your medicine, your wigs, your prosthetic, your breasts, things of that nature, even helping you in housing, because I know firsthand how that feels to just not have help when my mom had breast cancer. So I want to make sure that I put that out there to the public and to everybody, that it goes to any 17 municipality. You cannot live in Chicago to benefit from this foundation. It's strictly for people that live in the 17 communities. We are doing a cancer walk October 4th, and how this room was filled, I will hope you guys will come out for that cause. We will start right at Food for Less parking lot, and we will walk west going across the Unity Bridge, and we will walk 15 miles. So anybody that's up for the challenge or that feel they can make it, please show up. You can walk, ride, or drive. And yes, we got bikes, we have motorcycle clubs, we have all kinds of people that is joining us in this movement, because you never know when you need this resource as well. So always be about the cause.
I got 3 minutes. You see my hair? For the wigs that you promised you was gonna buy people in the township? Do you see this? Do you see this? You wanna ignore me, right?
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
They're also needing all annual and quarterly financial reports, all budgets created for the entity, accounting records for all revenue, expenses, assets, liabilities, and equity-related entries for the entity. And they're also wanting this to include all user data, access, and logs created within any accounting software used, all applicants' payment receipts, contracts, and/or agreements related to loans procured on behalf of the entity. They're not finished with Miss Tiffany yet. They're also wanting all records of payments to employees to include payroll, disbursements, reimbursements, direct deposit information. They're also wanting all records of outside employment for employees, contractors that are maintained, employee handbooks. For all board meetings, please provide the following: meeting agendas, meeting minutes, warrant list presented, any notes and/or approvals or denials documented related to warrant lists. They're wanting the board books. They're wanting all documents related to vehicle purchases and lease to include but not limited to contracts, payments, approvals, authorized users, and authorized uses for vehicles.
I sat here and looked at a lease that y'all was paying $149,000 for one of them trucks. You make that's like when you 19 years old and you go get a car and the interest rate 27%. That makes absolutely no sense. You're not making great finance. Excuse me?
Please state facts.
But let me tell you, here it is, dated December 27, 2022. The cash price of a 2023 Chevy Tahoe, $93,216.71. Interest and APR, $55,929.49. Total lease price, $149,146.20. Tell me if it's not facts, because your signature is all on it.
They go on to say the following requests are specific to identified individuals and/or entities for January 1st, 2021 through present. Any records of municipal resources being used on behalf of, number one, a political entity, including but not limited to Friends of Tiffany Henyard. Number two, charitable organizations, including but not limited to Tiffany Cares Foundation, Tiffany A. Henyard Cares Foundation, and/or Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. They're also needing all records maintained, controlled, or in the possession of the township regarding Tiffany Cares Foundation, Tiffany A. Henyard Cares Foundation, and/or Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. This should include all records related to September 2022 contribution of $10,000 from Thornton Township, and we've already spoken about that. All employee contractor records associated with the following individuals, included but not limited to hiring and/or retention, consulting agreements and/or employment contracts, personnel files, work schedules, records of invoices and payments, and job descriptions for Keith Freeman LLC, Government Staffing Advisors LLC, Kamal Woods, and Cheryl Scrant. So Keith, just like Tiffany, holds two positions and gets paid two salaries. He's the village administrator of the village of Dalton, where he makes roughly $100,000 a year, and he also held a position of municipality manager of Thornton Township, which gave him an annual salary of approximately $70,000 a year. Now, according to docs, he falsified a Chapter 7 bankruptcy filing documenting his income only as municipality manager, of course the position that was making less money. He then had his other paycheck going into a different bank account that he recently opened for a business he recently created. So it's like the government doesn't know that they're paying you two different salaries. You actually tried to hide one from the government, and the government is the one that's paying you. According to docs, he was also asked to provide a 2022 tax return, and because he never filed one, he provided a fake one. They're also saying that he falsified the amount of assets he had, as well as falsified the amount of his debts. Needless to say, this is the man who was the registered agent over the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation that she doesn't know about, but she does know about. With all of this alleged crime going on and this seeming like some type of organization, I can see RICO charges coming soon. Maybe I'm wrong. Now, they're wanting to see all disbursements. They're wanting to know who was paid. They're needing information including but not limited to expense reimbursements, credit card expenditures, per diems, expense reports, receipts, and electronic communications related to the following individuals and or entities: Keith Freeman LLC, Government Staffing Advisors LLC, Tiffany Henyard, Fania Dukes, Carmen Carlisles, Gerald Jones, Stan Brown, Kamal Woods, and Cheryl Scrantz. It goes on to say, please provide all records related to the below listed entries. Such records should include but not be limited to proposals, bids, contracts, or other agreements, license and or permits issued, job descriptions, orders, payments issued, invoices, and internal and external communications for Jose Eldaco Printing, On Demand Printing, and Jose Eldaco Printing and Graphics. There was a $17,000 invoice issued from this company for the t-shirts for Tiffany Cares Foundation. They are looking for the records related to Paul Graver with First Government Leasing. That's where they got that high dollar Tahoe from, paying all of that interest. They're wanting information regarding that. They're also wanting contracts, agreements, engagement letters, invoices, description of work, payments related to the following entities: Delgado Law Group, LLC.
Tonight for embattled Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard. The law firm representing Henyard and the Village of Dalton in a slew of lawsuits is asking to withdraw from those cases. The Delgado Law Group says it's not being paid, so it'll stop appearing in federal and state court and defending Dalton and Henyard in 22 different lawsuits.
Any other law firms or attorneys paid for by the township: Jerome Genova, Newsmakers Inc., and Stryker Munley Group. They're also wanting records related to approved and unapproved travel paid for by the township. This should include official purpose for travel, hotel folios, airfare, per diem requests, approvals, per diem disbursements, credit card expenses, expense reports, receipts, expense disbursements, and any Board of Trustee approvals or denials for travel. The response should include but not be limited to October 4th through the 15th, 2022 to Springfield, Illinois, March 2023 to Washington, D.C., and May 2023 to Las Vegas, Nevada. Internal and external electronic communications related all requests listed above. These communications should include but not be limited to the following parties: Tiffany Henyard, Keith Freeman, Robert Hunt, and Kamal Woods. Lastly, they're needing information about Tiffany's business: Tiffany Henyard herself, Good Burgers Inc., Aisha Properties Inc., Friends of Tiffany Henyard, and Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. And they're needing the same thing with this one: all background records, including applications for employment, personnel files, retirement information, records of time and attendance, pretty much everything that we named before they're needing with this one. So any employees that she had from any of her businesses, they need information about that. Needless to say, it seems like the super mayor has gotten herself into a super big problem, and I don't know how she's going to see her way out of it. And let's get into Andrew Holmes and how he was recently terminated by the Chicago survivors over assault allegations. So we all know what happened with him and Fania Dukes. She is alleging that he took advantage of her, possibly put something in her drink, and admitted to a cop that was on the trip that they were on that he had unprotected sex with her, and according to him, it was possibly not consenting.
He is a well-known Chicago activist, known for his work at crime scenes and helping grieving families. But now Andrew Holmes is out of a job. The nonprofit he worked for says he's been terminated amid a lawsuit and allegations that he assaulted a former co-worker. Holmes also serves as a trustee in the Village of Dalton. NBC5's Regina Waldrop with tonight's story.
We're in the most dangerous areas at the most dangerous time at night.
His name, his face, synonymous with the fight against Chicago violence.
We are just concerned about the child right about now.
On TV screens and in newspapers, Andrew Holmes stood with families during their most difficult times. He met with dignitaries, received countless awards for his work as a crisis responder. But in the wake of allegations against him, now the group he worked for, Chicago Survivors, says Andrew's been terminated. A statement to NBC5 reads, "Our mission is to provide crime victim services to family members of homicide victims, so our relationship with those families and our community is paramount. Without compromise, there needs to be strong mutual trust and an assumed high level of safety for the adults and children we serve. For those reasons, we terminated his employment in April upon learning of the serious allegations."
Well, Village of Dalton and Thornton Township, all I can say is you guys are constantly in my prayers, because I could definitely see with everything going on, y'all are gonna need it. What I need to do is hear from you. What do you think about everything going on with Tiffany Henyard, Andrew Holmes, like all of this? Leave a comment and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell so you don't miss any of my new episodes.